Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today at Juanette's Crafting Corner. In today's video, we're going to start making ephemera for this Christmas journal. And I've gone ahead and done quite a bit, but I recently saw an Instagram post where a person made these types of pockets, and I want to show you them. They're very cute. So what it is it's a kind of a sliding pocket where this holds, the butterfly holds that up. You slide it down, then it opens up, and there you've got your writing space. Here's another one where I've got this little fairy girl. Again, slide it down, and then to keep it closed, you slide that up. Now, I'm making a mossy green journal right now, so that's for that. This is for my idea book, and then my next journal is going to be very neutral, everything in beige, black, browns. So I made this for it, but I want to show you guys how to do it. So let me set these off to the side. So what you are going to need is a piece of double-sided cardstock, and I've got some Christmas cardstock here. I like this cardstock. It's thicker than copy paper, but not real thick. So you're going to need that. The other thing you're going to need is an image for your handle to slide it back and forth. And I think what would work best is something like this little fairy girl that has wings, or a butterfly, something that would kind of bend up. I'll show you that in a minute. So the height of my paper or cardstock is 9 inches, and my width is 4 inches. So what you're going to do is bring in a score board, and you're going to score your paper at 3 inches. That's your bottom. Flip it around, and you're going to score it at 2 inches, and that is your top. So then you just fold it up, and there you go. The next thing you're going to do is create a slit here. And I have a craft knife, a ruler, and because I don't want it to ruin my really nice filming Arteza mat, I have another mat here. So you're going to bring in a ruler and your craft knife, and you're going to create a slit that's about, I think I had measured like 1.5 inches, and I think that's going to be about center. Maybe I can go over just a tiny bit more. Actually, let's go. Well, if it's 4 inches, dummy, you're right at 2. Okay, so we're going to cut this down 1.5 inches. And I'm glad that didn't go through. I realized that, yes, this is okay, but here I don't want to cut through that. So you need to mark it with a pencil. Where's my ruler? And this might be a little bit difficult because this is such dark paper. So you're going to measure 1.5. I'm making that really dark so I can see that. Yeah, perfect. Now this you do want to cut. So for this, you could just take your scissors, and what you're going to do is just a small little slit. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Then what you're going to do is you want it to come up, but not all the way. So then I'm going to measure or cut here, measure that, and then turn it over so I can kind of see what I'm doing. You could take a ruler, but I'm going to do it without a ruler. I've already cut a little bit there. So I'm going to just finish cutting that. Another little slit on the other side. And then bring your craft knife in and bring that over. Now, I can tell this side here is a little bit narrower, so I'm going to come in and bring that over and cut that out. Okay, I think that's okay. So we did not go all the way up. There we go. This is our bottom. This is our top. The next thing I'm going to do is I want my little angel girl here to be pretty substantial. It's only printed on cards, copy paper right now. So I'm adding some, it's called Very Vanilla. It's a Stampin' Up product. Some cardstock to the back of her, and then I will fussy cut her out. That's a lot of glue there, sister. Okay, and then while that is drying up, we're going to create our little mechanism. And for that, I have a piece of double-sided ledger paper, meaning I folded it over to create a thicker piece of paper. So it's double layer. And it is 6 centimeters by 2.5 centimeters. And what you're going to do is you're going to lay your ruler down and you have your 6 centimeters. You're going to do a little tick mark at 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 4 centimeters, and 5 centimeters. And what you're going to do with this first layer, you're going to fold it back right on that line. let's see if I can help this. If I lay my ruler there and then bring in scissors so that it helps line it up. Okay. That's good. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing on this other side. Okay. And then you're going to fold it back. This way. And you're going to bring these two to meet. So this one should probably come over a little bit more. It is a tiny bit fiddly, you guys, but it's worth it. Okay. There we go. So then you have kind of a Z fold thing. Let me bring in my bone folder here and crease that down. Okay, that's pretty good. I think that will work just fine. Yeah, so you've got this 2 centimeter part here, 1 centimeter and 1 centimeter. Let's bring in our little girl here and fussy cut her out. I hope everyone is doing great. I couldn't be better. I've got to start getting ready for, of course, Christmas, but Pascal's birthday is this month, my son. So I've got to start thinking about what he might want for his birthday and start planning that. Yeah, this helped it a lot, this cardstock back here. It really makes it thick so that your little fairy girl or your butterfly is not going to tear as you use the mechanism to slide this up and down. Put that around like that. Yeah. Go around here a little bit better. Okay. And then I think I showed you in a previous video to get rid of that white using your Copic marker E31. This is down in the description box. And sometimes I just go over the entire thing, then that helps blend in all of the colors. Not only this edging part, but the image itself. And you can still see the image quite well, even if you go over the entire thing with your marker. Okay, I think that's good. Did I get that? Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to do a little bit of inking. Hopefully I've got some ink here. Yeah. Tiny bit. I think I've told you this before. If you're going to ink, this is my preference, is just ink a little bit. Don't ink so much that your image actually looks dirty. Do you see how I'm only just doing ever so slightly? When I first started inking, boy, I would go crazy and it would be really dark. And then after a while, I realized that actually kind of just makes it look dirty. Okay, the next thing you need to do is bring in your base. You're going to take these two little flaps and you're going to slide them in there. And what I like to do is I like to make sure that it slides pretty well. Let's bring this down. Yeah, see, that's going to be perfect like that. I may have to bend that over just a little bit. You know what? I can tell this here is a little bit too narrow. So I need to just come in just ever so slightly and trim that up. Okay, let's see if that helps it slide better. Okay, bring this down, lay that there. Yes, that's, when I open that up, that's better. It's a little bit thinner up here. I'm wondering what's going on. Let's see. I want to make sure it works well. It seems a little bit thinner here too. I wonder if that's causing it to not do well. Well, that's okay. I can tell that seems good. It's even. Let's try it again. Bring that in. I want that to go all the way over, but I want this also to go all the way over. There we go. Much better. Much better how that is. Okay. Then you want to glue your image on top of it. But you don't want to get glue down in the center here because then it may not slide as well. So I'm going to take a little bit of our Beacons 3-in-1 glue, and I'm going to just add a little bit on that side and a little bit over here. And then lay our image over the top. And just hold that there for just a minute. Then I'm going to pull in my corner rounder and round off the top and the bottom. And do this one. And this one. Make sure she's down. I don't want to move her too much because I want to make sure that she's even. So then the other thing, and the next thing I want to do is add my writing spot in here. Now on one of them, I added a pocket. Let me bring this one in and show you guys. Here I added a pocket. Maybe I want to do the same thing here. Let's see, I need to cut this down to, I think about there. see if that looks good, because you could write in here. You know what? I think I'm going to forego the pocket, but I am going to corner round these, and I'm going to do it over here to my right, so it's right over my trash can. Okay, and then let's do a tiny little bit of inking here. Yeah, I'm going to leave this not as a pocket. Ever so slightly inking. Yeah, just to help, it helps that stand out, that paper. And then I'm going to glue it down. You could add another pocket over the top of it if you wanted. Let's just glue this down. Oops, that slipped. There, that looks good. Okay, let's see if our girl is dry. See, this is kind of my cutter probably. Frayed that a little bit. Okay, close that down. Let's bring our girl down first. And what you can do is to help it is kind of bend it up a little bit there and a little bit here, just a little bit, and slide her down. I think it's all the way down. Let's see if it is. Yeah, she's all the way down. And then you will slide this part under. Now what you can do is to make that easier. I want to look here and see how much room I have. Let's trim this off ever so slightly, just because that will make it easier to slide under. And I'm going to do, let's try that. And then we will have to corner round again. Let's see if that's a little bit easier. Yeah, that makes it easier. There. Perfect. Now, I want to tell you guys that I did come in here and extend this slit a little bit, and I even extended this slit down here a little bit by sliding her all the way up and then going in with a craft knife and making sure not to cut her, but to extend that a little bit more so that she went up a little bit further and it held the top part down. Now, you guys have heard me say before that I was a card maker before I was a journal maker. So I have every kind of stamp and gadget and die that you could think of. These are the dies for this, but I have two different stamps. One is by the company Photoplay. The other one is by Lawn Fawn, and they are stamps that give you directions: push me, press me, pull me, shake me, slide me. I used the slide me. And what I'm going to do is I will look on Amazon and see if they have these stamps because I stamped on a little piece of the very vanilla cardstock Slide Me, then I cut it out and then corner round it, because if somebody is looking at this journal and you're not there to show them how to, do something, they're not going to know that that slides up and they may tear it. So just having that on there will help that. So anyway, so you guys, that is my make for today. Our little journaling spot with our pretty little thing there. And you slide her all the way down. You can tuck that under, then slide her up, and that holds that closed. So anyway, let's bring in our journal and let's see where we want to put her. Oops. Let's try again. There we go. Okay. Let's see where we want our little girl to go. Bring that out. Let's see. I've got a lot of stuff decorated already in the front of the journal. That could be cute. That would be really a good place. But like I said, I already have a lot of stuff decorated in the front, but not a ton in the back yet. I don't have much there, but that kind of is too matching. I think I've already got something there. That's a writing spot. Let's go. That just kind of matches too much. I like that. That would also be good. Let's go. Let's do the gold. Let's put her down there. And we will just add glue to the back here. And like I said, you could do this for any type of journal. Like I said, I'm glad I made that one for my idea book, because I want to be able to remember this, because this is again something a little bit different. I think I'm going to put her right in the center. This is a different writing spot than our normal. So anyway, so thanks so much for joining me today at Juanette's Crafting Corner for this ephemera making little video, and I will see you guys again soon. Thanks and bye-bye.